Biden's illegal immigration crisis, keeping Americans in the dark. That's our top story tonight. Joe Biden's open border policies have triggered a national crisis, actually multiple crises. Biden has reportedly directed ICE to use U.S. Air Force and their bases to redistribute illegal aliens throughout the country on private planes facilitated by ICE. This has been done in 100% total secret. The administration says it's none of your business on how Biden abuses your taxpayer dollars. Joining me now to weigh in, former acting DHS Secretary and Heritage Foundation visiting fellow Chad Wolf. Mr. Wolf, wonderful to see you. Since January, CBP has apprehended nearly 1 million illegals at the border. Biden refuses to tell Americans where he's relocating all of these illegal aliens, and he's using our government to work hand in glove, in my view, with narco-terrorists in an effort to subvert U.S. law. Former Trump advisor Stephen Miller says these actions are impeachable. I say they're criminal. What do you say?
Well, they're certainly concerning. I think what we see on the crisis every day is an administration not choosing to enforce the law, not choosing solutions to this crisis. Instead, they continue to facilitate it, which is exactly, it goes to your point about the system being broken to the effect that they're now using military aircraft to shuttle folks around the country to place them. And it's concerning. They don't have a solution to address the crisis, the illegal behavior on the border, and everything that we talk about over the last 4 or 5 months are symptoms of that problem. They have to solve the problem. They have to get serious about the rule of law and holding folks accountable that break that law, and they're simply choosing not to do that at the moment.
And according to what, and I just want to be very clear here, Mr. Wolf, according to what we've been able to determine here on the Chris Salcedo show, ICE is using civilian aircraft to access military runways on Air Force bases to redistribute those illegal aliens. We were told directly by a spokesperson at the Pentagon today that military aircraft are not being used for the redistribution of these illegal aliens, and goodness knows where. China virus cases, they have been on the rise in South Texas. According to Senator Ted Cruz, Biden's border crisis is responsible for the spike in the China virus. Listen.
The Biden border crisis is getting worse and worse every day. We are on pace for over 2 million people to cross illegally into this country. We have the highest level of illegal immigration in over 20 years. Last year, we had the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. Joe Biden is now talking about ending Title 42. Title 42 is the tool that has allowed us to prevent people with COVID from being released into this country.
Mr. Secretary, is it fair to say that the surge in the China virus cases, including the Delta variant, is caused by Biden's open border policies?
Well, I think it is fair. I think you've got a number of concerning things going on. You've got illegal immigrants coming in from Mexico, Central America, and other parts of the country that don't have the same vaccination rates as the U.S., positivity rates, don't have the public health infrastructure that we do. And so you're going to see more and more of those individuals come into the country that are perhaps positive, COVID positive, that are going to obviously impact American communities along that border, as well as law enforcement across that border. So absolutely, when you're letting in over 180,000 individuals a month that they're apprehending, you're going to find high cases of positivity, of COVID positivity, that you're going to have to deal with. And we don't need this crisis at the moment. There's enough going on here in the United States with getting people back to jobs, back into the economy. We don't need this crisis that they have self-inflicted on us.
Yeah, and reports that have leaked out of the Biden administration indicate upward of 8,000 cases have been confirmed, and those are the ones that we actually detected. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has facilitated the illegal entry of millions across our southern border illegally, but he is warning those who are revolting against Cuba's version of the Democrat Party that those people who are in revolt against communists, they're not welcome in America. Isn't he an obvious hypocrite?
Well, I would say that the policy defies logic. When you look at the Western Hemisphere and you look at any country, the two countries that come to mind that are prosecuting or persecuting their civilians are probably Cuba and Venezuela. So if there are Cubans that are seeking asylum, they are probably the most deserving. Instead, what we have the administration say is the most deserving are actually from Central America and Mexico, and we know that's not the case. We know those are economic migrants. But further, what they are saying on the southwest border is that they have overturned Trump policies that said we need to remove these individuals back to their home countries or to a safe third country. That is the exact same message that the secretary is saying that's what they're going to do for Cuba. So they have one policy for Cuba and then one policy for the southwest border. It makes no sense. It's not logical, and people need to really hold them accountable for it.
It's not logical if you believe in the rule of law, but it is logical if you know that these people do everything based on politics. Secretary Wolf, always a pleasure to talk with you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.